Today we will see some misconceptions related to the following three-dimensional shapes: cube, cuboid, prism, pyramid. Misconception 1. Identify prism in the 3D shapes shown below. Many times, students get the impression that only those three-dimensional shapes are called prism whose base faces are triangular. They think that only figure D is a prism, and with this understanding, option 1 is chosen, which is incorrect. Similarly, some children think that cube and cuboid are not prism. So, they consider only shapes C and D as prism, and option 2 is chosen, which is incorrect answer. To identify a prism, it is necessary to understand its definition. A prism is a solid shape with two faces identical and parallel. Therefore, to identify whether a three-dimensional shape is a prism or not, we shall see whether its two faces are identical and parallel. A cube is shown in figure A. Talking about this, you can see that any face opposite to a face is identical and parallel. So we can call the cube a prism. Similarly, in the case of cuboid given in figure B, it also has two faces identical and parallel, so it is also a prism. Similarly, in the figures C and D, we can see that the two faces are identical and parallel, so this is also a prism. In this way, the correct option is option 3. Misconception 2. How many faces are there in the cylinder given below? Some students do not count the curved face while counting the faces. They think that the faces are always flat and cannot be curved. With this understanding, they think that there are only two faces in a cylinder. And with this understanding, option 1 is chosen, which is incorrect. The correct understanding is that there can also be a curved face. For example, the curved part of a cylinder or the curved part of a cone is also a face. Thus, the cylinder has a total of 3 faces, 2 flat faces and 1 curved face. That is, the correct answer is option 2. Can you tell how many faces are there in a cone? Think. Absolutely right. Cone has 2 faces, a flat face and a curved face. Misconception 3. One day, a teacher drew the figure shown below on the blackboard and asked the students to identify its shape. To this, Vipul replied, "This is a triangle." Nisha replied, "This is a prism." And Pratik replied, "This is a pyramid." Can you tell who gave the correct answer? Some students get confused with triangular pyramid and triangle. Due to this confusion, they consider the given shape as a triangle. From this, they understand that Vipul has given the correct answer and they select option 1, but this is an incorrect answer. Some children have confusions in prism and pyramids. They consider the figure to be a prism and find Nisha's answer correct. With this understanding, they select option 3, but this is also incorrect. The correct understanding is that the triangle is a flat shape, that is, it is a two-dimensional shape, also known as 2D. But the given shape is a 3D shape, so it cannot be a triangle. A prism is a solid shape with two faces identical and parallel. There are no two faces parallel, so this shape is not a prism. If we see, all faces are triangular here. If we consider one of the face as base, then all the other faces are triangular. We call such a shape a pyramid. Therefore, Pratik has given the correct answer. That is, option 2 is correct. Today we saw some misconceptions related to the following three-dimensional shapes: cube, cuboid, prism and pyramid.